podcast here in the next couple of weeks. Actually, first one will be next Monday, and so this is the start of kind of the streaming aspect of the podcast here, and excited to have you all on. Be sure to leave a review, share the podcast with a friend. Tag a friend. If you're watching on YouTube, tag somebody in the comments, like the video, subscribe, all the good stuff. Michael, did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. I think you nailed it all, except for the fact that the Pacers play round one tonight, or game one of the NBA Finals. So
It was
I'm
first
curious.
time in 25 years. First time in 25 years.
First time in 25 years since 2000. Last time the Pacers were in the finals, they played I think it was the Lakers. And, they, listen, the Pacers with Reggie Miller and those guys, they would have had probably two NBA championships had it not been for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Um, yeah, let's see.
Yeah. Yeah. So we that's exciting. What is it? 8 p.m. tonight? 8 p.m.
8:30.
So
8:30.
I did actually, for those of you all watching, I did actually just throw out a post a couple of minutes ago about potential severe weather in the area tonight. And so there could be a couple of strong to severe storms across the Oklahoma City area tonight, and then another storm cluster overnight after the game. And so that area has been hit really hard this spring, and looks like it's going to potentially cause some travel issues once again. I think that I read that the Pacers had to fly around Oklahoma City and land in Tulsa or something like that because of the severe weather that was moving through either yesterday or the day before.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. And Oklahoma's getting pounded. Again, I saw that. I think right now there's the third wettest year ever for them since 1893.
yeah, and it's like that for Kentucky too. It's just been, and Michael, we talked about it. You've done a ton of speaking engagements this year,
Hmm.
and we've been talking about this pattern for a long time, and
Yep.
how active that it was going to be across the south and east part of the country, which is exactly what's happening right now.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, I think one thing to keep in mind is there's a lot of people that are sick of the rain. I just realized I don't have my ring on today. I'm not married today.
Oh no.
I'm single and ready to mingle. No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
I hope your wife isn't watching.
oh boy. Yeah. No, just kidding. So there's folks that really, need rain, and there's folks that don't need rain. In fact, the rain is gonna do nothing but probably piss them off. So yeah, it's been. I've spoken in portions of the country where the ground is cracking, and then I've spoken in portions of the country where you step on it and water comes out of it. So it's been an odd spring, and so far that's carried into summer. But we've been talking about this for a while. We were kind of anticipating this, really. So no surprise to us, at least.
For sure, which kind of leads me into today's topic, Michael. I don't know if you got to see what it was. I don't think that you could be spooked by it or get spoiled by what the topic is today because of the way that we're doing the podcast. But
Uh-oh.
today's episode is that society, people in general, have been trained to accept bad weather forecasts, and I think that it makes them assume that all weather forecasts are commonly inaccurate or bad. Like even an extended range forecast. A lot of people say, hey, they can't get it right 3 days out. Why would they, forecast 3 months out? We talked about that in an earlier podcast, but I want to get into the root cause of why people have just accepted whatever is on their phone that they know changes all the time, that they know is wrong all the time. Why do we still accept this as a society? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I just spoke about this yesterday, really, and the day before I was in St. Louis speaking to Bayer and all of their big seed customers, um, and we were talking about you know the over reliance of cell phone weather apps, free apps on your phone, and the way people they live and die by these things. They they go by off everything they say, and everybody has 4 to 5 different ones, or 3 to 5. I mean, everybody's got multiple weather apps, and and then because these apps are not designed for accuracy and precision and decision making, that's not what the people made them for. Um, it's training people to accept very low quality, poor weather prediction from and the thought process is that that is what that's the norm. People are like, well,
Hmm.
all the apps are not very good. So weather forecasting just must not be good at all in general. And so in my opinion, that's really the ultimate demise of humanity. If we're being honest, is cell phones. It's social media. It's free weather apps. It's free. I mean, we think about social media, man. Uh, it's like this ticket to just be a total lunatic and do whatever you want with no repercussions, no consequences for the most part. So we've got 30,000 different people that forecast weather from their mom's basement, that are live. So there's just a number of things. Social media and cell phones have, they're great for many reasons, but they also are tarnishing things as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that I think that we this, this, if you think about this in the grand scheme of things, this phone, it's not that old. What, these smartphones have been around 15 years, maybe 15
15,
years or so,
yeah, maybe, yeah.
which is not, it's not, that's not a lot of time. But in that time, since that time, there have been a million different free weather apps developed,
Yeah.
and they all pretty much do the exact same thing. They just pull in slightly different pieces of data. One app may pull in the GFS model, one app may pull in the European model, app may pull in something a little bit different, but there's no human touch on them. There's no human input, which is why that's what I always say when somebody asks, why would I pay $99 for an app when I could get the one when I've got 5 on my phone for 3, or for free? First of all, having 5 on your phone is just going to confuse you. But second of all, that data in there, it's not designed to be right, but it doesn't have any kind of a human touch on it. And so it just limits the ability for it to be accurate. And we've just accepted that this is easy and that's simple and that's just the way it should be and it should be free. But you can take control of how you react to the weather if you actually look at something that a human has actually put some time and effort into.
Yeah, it's like anything in life. I mean, if you free stuff normally sucks, man. Like, it's
Get
not
what you
good.
pay for.
You get what you pay for, and people have, listen, these weather apps, the Weather Channel is like, it's the number one most downloaded weather app. It's probably one of the most popular apps in the world, honestly. And it's free because, I mean, if my phone could ring 7 more times, that'd be great. Um, it's free because they sell marketing in it, and so they make tens and 20 of millions of dollars doing this. This is crazy. I'm gonna have to. Sorry, my phone just won't stop. Um, they make all this money, and so it doesn't at that point when you're making that much money, millions, whether it's right or wrong. I mean, you've got 90% of the people who say they suck. I mean, oh yeah,
Mhm.
what's wrong? Yeah. Well, they don't care. They're making millions of dollars. They don't care. I mean, if they cared, like, they would do something about it. And so, you know, the way to really correct this is to understand that these platforms, these applications, they're not made for that. They're neat. They've got neat tools. They've got neat tabs and maps and images, and they make you think it's good, but um, it's they're just not that good. Some days they do good, right? Some days they hit it. Most of the time they don't. Every time you open up the application, you have a different forecast that you're looking at. They update, it's never the same. It's always different. And the reason for that is there's no QC, there's no quality control
Mhm.
going on. There's no one in there that's super worried or concerned about the accuracy of it because it's so profitable that nobody cares.
Yeah. Well, and nobody cares because it's all that they had for so long, so they just don't know any different. That it can be better, that you can get a forecast, that you can get a push notification directly to your phone that times out the exact time that a storm, whether it's severe or not, is going to hit you,
Yeah.
so that you can decide, oh, I'm going to leave 5 minutes early so that me and my kids don't get stuck in a storm, in
Yep.
traffic, or in a log jam of people because people stop under the overpass, which is a whole other issue. I saw another picture of that. I think it was Oklahoma City actually, of people doing that. Don't do that, please. Please don't ever stop under an overpass to shelter from a storm. That's not good.
Here's how I know, Brett, that this stuff will never change because we've been talking about stuff like that for decades,
Mm-hmm.
and people still do it. And the problem isn't. The problem is it's impossible to reach everybody and get them all to know it. I mean, um, and then what happens is the people that you do reach, um, is they still think they know more than you do, or they think that they're right and you're wrong, based on because maybe a flawed belief that they have, or a confirmation bias that they have that they know more than you do, and whatever, and so people still do it. Um,
Yeah.
in fact, I thought the new Twister movie was interesting. It's a good word for that movie is interesting, but they opened up that movie with them taking shelter under an overpass and one of the storm chasers dying. And I think that was a good message to send because so many people watched that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they were trying to send the message to stop putting your ass under an overpass when there's a tornado coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stupid. It's stupid.
For sure.
So, anyways, got off subject there, but it's the same thing. We can sit here all day long and talk about automated weather data and its limitations, its flaws, its inability to be perfect. People are going to look at it forever. They're never going to stop, and they're always going to get pissed off because it's not good.
Yeah, and I think that
So
here's the only way to fix that is to take action, right? Take control of what you consume. You can control exactly what you consume, whether it's on an app, wherever you're at. You don't have to turn the TV on the news if it depresses you. It's the same thing with the weather app. If it's wrong all the time, you can take control of it. There are better solutions out there.
yeah,
And I think that the other thing is I think that day to day, myself included, I think that we take for granted how much weather actually impacts us. We treat it as a nuisance when in reality, a storm moving through during rush hour, how many people does that make late for work every day? How many car accidents does it cause? How much money, when you add all that up together, does one thunderstorm cause?
yeah, it's
And
crazy. I
I,
mean,
I don't think people think about that. But if you just took control and you really treated weather as something that truly impacts you in every aspect of your life, I think that maybe people would take it a little bit more seriously to look for a better solution.
yeah. In fact, if you go over to Grok, the AI engine on X, here's what it says. The World Meteorological Organization estimates that from 1970 to 2019, weather, climate, and water related hazards caused an average of 202 million in losses daily.
Jeez.
which scales to $73.7 billion annually, which brings the 50-year total to $4.3 trillion. That's how much weather is impacting everything all the time. Regional data adds context. The U.S. alone has seen billion-dollar disasters costing an average of $121 billion per year from 2019 to 2023, with 2024's 27 events totaling $184 billion.
It's insane.
So, it's inevitable that this impacts everything and everyone everywhere. And the fact that we rely on free sources to give us information that is not only threatening money, it's threatening lives and property. It can kill you. It kills people all the time. It totally devastates operations. It bankrupts businesses. It ruins crops. The list is endless here. And we've got people in the highest seats looking at AccuWeather and Weather Channel's free apps. And it's like, what sense does that make, honestly? So the adage of, there's stuff better. It's like when you compare a Ford Focus to a Ferrari. There's nothing wrong with a Ford Focus. It works, gets you from point A to point B. Ferrari is totally different animal. It's a totally different car, all the way down to the type of tire that's on it, or the interior of the cloth. It's all different, and there's a reason why one of them is 20 grand and one of them's 400 grand.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of quality and performance. And it's the same thing with anything in life. And you got to think about it. You can buy watches anywhere from Walmart. You can get a watch that looks nice for $30, or you can buy a Rolex for 30,000. And listen, these comparisons can go all day long. You can buy a sirloin steak or a filet. It's just the way that it goes. And I think more people, the message has to be a little bit more serious on it. It doesn't, I think the cell phone has just ruined the fact that people think that weather isn't ever going to be good, and it actually can be pretty damn good, really.
Yeah, and how much is it worth to you to keep more people safe, to save yourself a ton of money?
Gosh, the average business, doesn't matter the size, could spend on average $5,000 a year for private weather information and solve so many problems. It would be hard to fathom. It would be hard to put into context the amount of time, the amount of money, the amount of resources, payroll, manpower, all the things, decisions, time, everything can be, dramatically saved, scaled back, and changed because you spent a little bit of money to get better information.
Yeah. And I think you could make a comparison too. I think the biggest, when we talk about our platform, the biggest value add is just the ability to talk to somebody. Who has ever gotten mad about calling Xfinity or AT&T or whoever, and you have to hit 15 buttons to talk to an actual person, or most of the time you end up yelling at it, let me talk to somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to feel so frustrated or confused about weather information when you can literally call Matt Griffin, John Kemper, any number of our dozen plus meteorologists here, and they'll walk you through it. You don't have to wonder or guess or question, or what does 55% probability of precipitation mean? I see that there's a 90% chance of rain, but is it going to rain all day? Free apps are never going to tell you that.
Yeah.
With any accuracy.
Yep. Nope, they never will. And And for, it's kind of like, I forget who it was who said it. Maybe it was Einstein. The definition of insanity, it's just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different outcomes, different results. That's all it is. Um, you know, half the time your app's going to nail it, half the time it's not. And if you're only getting it right half the time and you're making big high dollar decisions for either money, productivity, safety, whatever the case may be, you're going to get burnt. You're going to get screwed. You're going to continue. It's going to continue to happen. Nothing's going to change. It's not going to get better because all of a sudden you got better at averaging 4 apps together. That ain't going to do it. All of a sudden you think that well, I watch Channel 13. They're the weather authority. No, they're not. They paid someone to say that. Did you see the big thing, Brett? The little uproar about how AccuWeather claimed they had the best hurricane lead time forecasts?
I don't know if I did see that.
Yeah, it really pissed people off.
Oh, you know what? Now yes, I do. Yes, they ran some kind of a marketing campaign or something like that. Wrote
Yeah,
an article. They did research, right?
uh-huh. Yeah, they hired some company. They paid them, of course. The company said they're the best. I mean, why? I mean, come on. If you pay a company, they're going to tell you you're the best. Why would they not? That's what these people do. Certified most accurate. Certified crap. Okay, it's all marketing. But the thing is I think someone said it in the YouTube comments a little bit ago, that people are easily manipulated into believing anything. Yeah, they are. I mean, it's very easy to make people believe in it. If you say it good enough, they're going to believe it. What I love about our podcast and the stuff that we do is that we're just speaking truth. We're not trying to convince you of anything. Like, it's no secret that these apps collect your information and sell marketing. It's no secret that you can't talk to a human on these apps. Like, this isn't groundbreaking information here. So,
Michael, I want to kind of wrap things up with a couple of questions for you specifically. And kind of going off this topic, what are a couple of things, what are a couple of organizations or businesses or processes that weather impacts that most people wouldn't think or ever know about?
That's an excellent question. And a lot of people don't think about pavement and concrete companies. The slightest amount of rain can impact jobs that cost 6 figures or more. School systems, fog delays, 2-hour delays, closings, game cancellations. Listen, that question can be answered with literally, it impacts anything. I mean, if someone needs to paint the exterior of a commercial building, if someone needs to, pave 1,000 miles or 100 miles, I'm sorry, of highway lanes, or you've got an outdoor event there are some events in our country that have 100 to 300,000 people at them. Do you understand what would happen if a thunderstorm, a strong one, popped up on an event with 300,000 people? We've seen catastrophe strike events like that here locally in years past. So, I mean, you think about it, the lack of preparation on things, it's going to impact anyone, anywhere, at any time. And it is going to cost money and time and jeopardize safety.
Yeah. Yeah. And another one that I thought of while you were saying that, the pilots getting just, products into our country, into shipping lanes and with boats and marine. And I think that probably nobody outside of that industry thinks about how impactful fog is.
Yep.
For marine operations and how much money that impacts. And probably, I would imagine, I don't know this for sure, I'm speculating, but I would imagine that if something slows down getting product into the country or into a certain area, that might impact the cost of what you're spending on it. That's speculation, but I would imagine that it all impacts down the road, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think bottom line, we don't have to, as a society, we don't have to accept that weather will be weather and it will impact us and whatever. I can't do anything about it. We can prepare ourselves better for it,
Yeah.
whether it's just going to work, whether it's, gosh, whether it's bringing in the pots and the outdoor furniture and stuff, so you don't have to spend $500 on new furniture when it blows away during a storm.
I mean, seriously, it's I mean, that right there, Brett, happens all the time.
All the time. I'm even guilty. I've forgotten before. And all of a sudden cushions are gone and then I have to pay for new cushions and that's the cost of a subscription right there. And it was my own fault for just not taking the initiative on it. And I should know better because I'm a meteorologist. I knew that it was coming. You all can get our updates and you can, prepare, not have those situations happen.
Yeah.
Trampolines flying through the air,
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. What else you got, Brett? Any other questions?
Yeah, I don't see any other questions. We have some for those of you because we have a lot. We've got 200. We've got more than 250,000 followers across all of our platforms. We've got some cool things coming because Clarity right now we send a ton of custom updates, our own alerts, videos, maps, you name it. But we have some cool stuff coming that I think will pretty much make Clarity an all-in-one everything that you need from radar to forecast to analysis and beyond, and be on the lookout for it.
Yeah, a lot of things coming. It's all in one-stop shop. It's, we've developed Clarity. Even now it almost is already a one-stop shop, but we've developed it over the years to encompass every tool, everything, everyone, every ooh and ah you could imagine, and we're not stopping. We're rapidly developing very cool tools that are going to be available very soon. And we're gonna take it over. We're gonna take it over. We're gonna take the market over for
Yeah,
sure.
it'll make your life easier.
Yep. Yep. All
Simpler.
you people using Radar Scope, you're all gonna be able to use it right inside of Clarity now. Only it's gonna be Clarity. Same thing, just in Clarity.
Yeah.
So good stuff coming. But yeah, guys, I mean, this stuff, if it's free, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. It's nice for a time, but you're not going to get value out of it for a while. Vet it. I promise you the apps aren't made for this. So
There's a nice comment from Katie about
yeah.
using Clarity.
Yeah, thanks, Katie.
So
Yeah, so share this with a friend. Again, leave a review. Let folks know you're listening to this weekly. We've had a lot of good feedback on these podcasts. They're fun to do, and we're just trying to have educational topics that really help you understand weather better. So, yeah, good stuff, Brett.
all right, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Again, be sure to leave a review, 4 or 5-star review. If you liked the podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever that you listen to it, share it with a friend. Let's help educate more people on weather and try to change how society thinks about it. Let's help people, take control of their lives in terms of weather and understand that it is something that we can all do better with. And so we'll have more updates. A really, really cool podcast coming next week, so be on the lookout for that. And a couple of other guests coming as well as we go through the end of June. So thanks so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Forecast.
See ya.